Welcome to Depala Demolition Derby. Hope you're excited. As far as opening hand goes, we've got two lands. We have Worn Power Stone. Do we want to keep on this? This is not that exciting. Yeah, let's go on Mulligan. I'm not super wild about that opening hand. And yeah, Smuggler's Cop. Yeah, we'll keep on this one. This is, yeah, we'll keep. Not too bad. Temple of Triumph. Playing it, is that too slow against Temple of Triumph? Yeah, since we've got four lands, and let's go and put Temple of Triumph on the bottom. If we weren't playing against Tajic, I would be tempted to put that on top to kind of slowly, at least get something to kind of get on the battlefield. But I think at this point, not much. We've got Boros versus Boros. All right, so opponent's getting down the Guild Gate, and then I'll cover our commanders in just a second. Let's go and get down, I guess at this point, we're going to get down Arid Mesa, and then anything else we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yes, welcome to Depala Demolition Derby. It's been a long time since we played her. Really excited. If you haven't noticed, I haven't had a repeating commander in a while. I'm working on making sure that I've got all my decks updated for the new 1 versus 1 commander rules. So if you haven't seen a particular commander in a long time, it's because I'm purposely going back and trying to make sure I give all of my decks the proper update. So, and that's forcing me to not play some decks that I really like to just play all the time, like Damia. Damia was always one of those decks I would just run into the ground like every other week or something like that. So even though I do enjoy Damia, but it's nice to be able to kind of get some of these other decks back into the spotlight. So, but we're playing Depala. Other dwarfs you control get +1/+1. Each vehicle you control gets +1/+1 as long as it's a creature. Then whenever Depala becomes tapped, you may pay X. Let's go and crack this Arid Mesa. Whenever you may pay X, if you do, reveal the top X cards of your library. Put all dwarf and vehicle cards among them under your hand. The rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Let's grab Sacred Foundry. You're not going to pay 2 life. And then kick it back over to us. We'll get down that Smuggler's Copter. And that'll put us online for Depala. Swinging it. Ooh, Mana Vault. Digging it. I guess let's get down Bloodstained Mire. Yeah, we don't necessarily need to get down Mana Vault at this point right now. Yeah, let's go and crack Bloodstained Mire. Let's go and grab Plateau. Let's go and get down Smuggler's Copter. And then we'll go and pass the turn. Play against Tajic, the brand new card from Guilds of Ravnica. Excited to see what our opponent has in store for us. Nice. I was just about to see, and then they just told us it's Legendary Boros Soldier deck. So, if you're a fan of Boros, hint hint PJ, this is the video for you. We're playing against Tajic, Legion's Edge, Haste, Mentor, prevent all non-combat damage that will be dealt to other creatures you control. Then for a 2-mana activation, Tajic gains first strike until end of turn. Now, a little bit about Slow Player 1. I played against Slow Player 1 for a long time now, and Slow Player 1 built some really, really interesting decks. So this is why I'm really excited to see what we have in store for us. Him or her, they have some really fun decks. I always enjoy our matches. You know, we always trying to think how to describe it. We're kind of in the same deck building area of Magic, where it's just kind of like you want to walk that fine line between a deck that's interesting to watch and it's also a deck that's fun to pilot. That's what it is, a deck that's fun to pilot. That's the word that I'm looking for. Let's go ahead and get down a Clifftop Retreat. And I've always left our matches just like, man, I kind of want to get that deck list. So if you know Slow Player 1 or anything like that, he or her is an excellent deck builder. All right, let's go and go for Smuggler's Copter. Let's go and crew up 1. There we go. And then tap it. Yeah, there we go. I always get worried I'm doing something wrong with the crew. All right, we have no mana, unfortunately, to go off of Depala. Nope. And let's go and get up Smuggler's Copter. The good thing about Smuggler's Copter is it's just going to allow us to kind of start filtering through our library. So let's go and swing across for 4. Let's see if we can't outrace the Boros Legion. Yeah, we're going to draw a card, draw into Mishra's Factory. And at this point right now, what are we going to get rid of? We're going to hold on to Relentless Assault. You know what, let's get rid of Ancient Den. We've got Mishra's Factory, we have Scalding Tarn. Yeah, I'm okay with that. All right, so we're going to swing it for 4, knock our opponent down to 26, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yeah, speaking of Boros, so I went to the pre-release yesterday, and that was on Saturday, and I played against Boros 2 out of the 4 rounds, and let me tell you, Mentor is a pretty good, Boros deck. I built a Sultai, kind of grinded out, slow deck. I had opened up 2 Price of Fames, which was really nice to have, 2 instant speed removal. And so, but anyway, I played against 2 Boros decks, and that Mentor, if they, especially if they just hit their curve where it's just, turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, it's just really hard to kind of stop that Mentor sometimes. So if you're thinking about at least building Tajic, or you want to do some more Ravnica Sealed or something like that, I highly suggest it. It's pretty good. All right, so our opponent's going to get down Tajic. Mentor's going to be able to get that Mentor onto Bastion Protector, and they're going to be able to get that that extra counter on there too. So that Mentor ability is pretty good. It put some pretty good pressure on you. It's going to put us down to 16, and it will be 5 total commander damage. And let's see if there's any certain way we can. At this point right now, we just need to get some sort of blockers. Target creature gains double strike off of Sunhome. You know what? Let's get down Mishra's Factory. And let's go and get down Aether Sphere Harvester. Yeah, because that lifelink is really going to matter in this one. So, yeah, I like that. Let's get down Mana Vault off of Mishra's Factory. Let's go for Aether Sphere Harvester. We're going to get that 2 energy, and the good thing is that it's going to give us lifelink once we go for that activation. All right, so anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. The good thing about that is Tajic swinging across for a 4-4, excuse me, a 5-4, is that the Aether Sphere Harvester will end up being a 4-6. It does have indestructible, basically, which is not going to help us, but that lifelink will make a difference in hopefully helping us kind of get a little bit ahead on this one. The only thing that we're missing at this point right now is we need some, we need a few more creatures on the battlefield. Now, one thing that we can do is if we want to kind of crew up Mishra's Factory, turn into a 2/2 assembly worker, we can, nice, I'm really liking it. But yeah, we can actually crew up Mishra's Factory to turn that into a creature to kind of crew up some of this stuff. But at least at this point right now, we do have the Aether Sphere Harvester to kind of get that going. And keeping on line with the Demolition Derby theme, we do have a Relentless Assault if we can get that going. But at this point right now, we just need a few more bodies on the battlefield. Hopefully with Mana Vault, what we might end up doing is whenever we crew up Depala, I think we might end up paying that 3. I don't know if we want to have that damage start being... Ooh, we got Tajic on Tajic. And they can't shift the Greaves over onto it too. And I love, like, this is a prime example of look how shiny new Tajic is over old Tajic. I mean, it's just kind of like, I love that he's just like, I just need to be as shiny as possible. I don't know why I cannot get past that. It just makes me laugh. All right, so let's see how they're going to swing this. So whenever it swings in, it gets +5/+5 until end of turn. Okay, so let's do this. So let's get some crews going. Commander creatures you control get +2/+2 and have indestructible. It's going to get the +5/+5. Let's see how they go for the Mentor trigger. Oh, basically the Mentor is going to go on that Tajic, old Tajic. All right, so that's basically going to be, so we crew up Aether Sphere Harvester. We're going to get the additional bonus. That's going to be a 4/5. We still can't chump block on Bastion Protector. But at least we can kind of chew up some of that damage. It puts us at 12. Yeah, we still need to crew it up. So let's go and crew up Aether Sphere Harvester. And since we're pretty much, it's going to be hard for us to do anything, let's go and pay that 3 off of Mana Vault to look at the top 3 cards. Yeah, we're going to, there we go. Click 1, 2, 3. And we draw into Mind Captain. Okay, that's good. At least we get kind of something going. So we're going to crew up the Aether Sphere Harvester. That's one of the good things about playing against Boros is that, you know, a lot of them don't have trample. At least at this point right now, they don't have trample. That will allow us to go for that. So let's go ahead and go for the Aether Sphere Harvester. Let's go ahead and pay 1 life to give it lifelink. And I guess at this point, we'll just go ahead and chump block on Bastion Protector. Because, yeah, because we block on Bastion Protector, that'll... Either way, we're taking 5 damage, and this is indestructible. So, yeah, we'll just block on that one. Alright, so that puts us at 8. Once we do gain that life. And then we'll be able to get down Mind Captain and hopefully kind of negate that Mana Vault being dealing 1 damage to us. Drawn to Gift of Estates. Our opponent is, actually, they have more lands than we do, so that'll allow us to get some planes going. Not going to be able to pay for Mana Vault, sorry about that. And then let's see, so we get down... Yeah, we need to have as much cruise stuff as possible, so let's go ahead and go for Gift of Estates. Because they definitely have more lands than we do before we make the land drop. That way we can grab 3 planes out of our library, at least kind of get one of those down. Let's go 1, 2, 3. And let's go ahead and get down one plane. Let's go and get down the mine captain. Okay, then anything else, let's go and pass the turn to our opponent. So we're looking at a 7-7 with old school Tajic, 5-4 and a 5-5. So either way, basically we're going to need to block on Tajic that's indestructible to the 7-7, and that puts us at maybe 2 life, depending on once the kind of smoke clears. We will be able to tap down Depala, but unfortunately we won't be able to get the tap ability with that extra colorless mana. But we still have, once we get Smuggler's Copter fired up, that will allow us to draw a card once it blocks. The only downside is we're basically going to be losing most of our vehicles on this particular one. But it's been a fun matchup so far. I've definitely enjoyed it. This is one of those, like, when I play Depala can be a little clunky sometimes. So when you get to play Boros versus Boros, those makes for a fun matchup. And if you're thinking about building Depala, I highly recommend it. It's not the most competitive deck, but there's just a lot of times to where it really it makes your brain really work. You know, you're in red white, which is not the best color to go for, and then even then at red white, you're in this weird deck where there's dwarves and vehicles, and so it's just kind of like it's almost like a puzzle every time you play it. It's just a really interesting. Sword of Fire and Ice. Okay, let's see. So they get down Sword of Fire and Ice on Tajic, and I think that's they have to shift Lightning Greaves around, but I think that might be. No, we can still get the that protection is not going to matter. Okay, no, we can still do that because the vehicles be able to get past that protection. But yeah, it's always interesting playing Depala, seeing what sort of how to win. It's almost kind of like it's like playing Nin the Paint Artist, where it's just there's not one set win condition. There's just a lot of stuff you've got to do to make it to where you can win. It's always, if you do get a win with Depala, it's always really rewarding. Let me put it like that. It's a very rewarding commander to play. All right, so see our opponent wants to swing in. Either way, we're going to have Smuggler's Copter and Aethersphere Harvester to block. And then hopefully we'll get some pretty good lifelink going too. So at this point right now, they swing with Tajic. That's going to be a 7-7. They have the Sword of Fire and Ice on Tajic, which he's got double wielding swords. Our opponent said, dang, you can man both vehicles. Yeah, we can. I'll definitely take it. That was really nice. Getting that captain was really good. All right, let's see how they want to swing in. Okay, they will swing in the whole crew, so we'll get those triggers going, and then we'll get some of our crews going in response to that. All right, so it's going to crew up Smuggler's Copter, and this is going to cost 1, and that costs both of these just cost 1. So it's going to crew up Aethersphere Harvester. Get the Mine Captain to go drive the Harvester. I would question his ability to pilot this vehicle. It looks pretty, I don't know, maybe he could. If it's a Harvester, I bet he's a Farmer Dwarf. I bet he could. And then we'll get Depala and Smuggler's Copter. That sounds a little bit better. I trust her with Smuggler's Copter over I do this Mine Captain guy. Let's go and crew up Smuggler's Copter off of Depala. And we have no for Depala. Sorry, Depala. And we get the Smuggler's Copter crew. And so at this point right now, we have to basically kind of, well, with lifelink. Let's see. All right, let's go for Smuggler's Copter. That's going to be Aethersphere Harvester. We have to basically block on both 7s. And then we need to pay for that lifelink before we forget. There we go. That would have been a major bummer if we did not pay for that. Okay. All right, so we're going to get the Smuggler's Copter. Let's draw a card. Yes, we're going to draw a card. Then we draw into Path to Exile, which does help. Yeah, we'll go and get rid of planes at this point right now. The only downside is we're going to lose most of our vehicles, so that is a bummer. That does leave us at 5, so we're not completely dead, just like a Mana Vault something. So basically at this point right now, we can still Path to Exile on something and still chump block on Tajic and then the other one and get rid of Bastion Protector. Yep, we've got a little bit of a game going. We'll see. There's a draw into Command Tower, and then yeah, sorry, Mana Vault. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and get down, I guess, Sunhome. Because that way we can threaten Double Strike, I guess. Yeah, because we get down Sunhome, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and that still leaves us online for Path. I like that. So we get down Sunhome, and let's just go and pass the turn to our opponent. So I'm kick it over there. Now we'll see how they want to kind of sequence this with Sword of Fire and Ice, protection from red and blue. So that does keep us online for Path to Exile, at least going for swords on Tajic. We'll see how we want to sequence this one. With us sitting at a 3-3, What we can do is we can Path to Exile on Bastion Protector. That's going to get rid of the indestructible for their creatures, and then we can still get that double strike going and take care of one of their commanders. So we got Dwarves versus Boros Soldiers. This is turning out to be a pretty good match. I like it so far, but we'll see what we can do. I think we do. Unfortunately, I didn't take a screenshot of my deck list before we started, but I'm pretty sure we do have something that brings them out of the graveyard. I think it's open the vaults. So if we do draw into open the vaults, that will allow us to kind of bring stuff back out of the graveyard, stuff like Aethersphere Harvester and Smuggler's Copter. But it's been a good game so far, and like I mentioned, we have that Sunhome double strike line of play. So let's see how our opponent wants to swing in for this one. Our opponent says, I figure you got something up your sleeve. Yeah, we do. I'm going to have something up our sleeve. All right, so our opponent's going to get down Anafenza. And to keep in mind, I need to say this out loud so I do remember, we do have Mishra's Factory that we can crew up to turn it into a vehicle. So that's something we do need to keep in mind. So at this point right now, we'll see how they want to swing in. All right, so they're going to go for Lightning Greaves. Yeah, let's go for... We need to get rid of that Indestructible. Yeah, let's go for Path. We have to do this. Well, actually... Alright, so they go for Lightning Greaves on Bastion Protector. Because we have to take care of Sword of Fire and Ice. It's going to be protection from red and blue. It's basically protection from us. They can swing across. If it's sitting at a 6/6, that still gives us... Yeah, we don't need to take... Yeah, let's do it this way. We can still leave that up. Make sure I'm looking, because I don't want to mess something up. Yeah, so we're looking at this correctly. We double strike on... Oh, but that's the only way that we can get rid of double strike, though, unfortunately. We can crew up a Mishra's Factory to chump block if we wanted to. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's go for Path to Exile on Tajic. That way it gets rid of that Sword of Feast and... And actually, now that I think of it, yeah, we have to go for Swords to Plowshare on Tajic. They get the Lightning Greaves on the Bastion Protector. They can re-equip Swords of Fire and Ice onto another creature. But at least at this point right now, that's going to keep Tajic from swinging in, getting that +5/+5. Whatever they do decide to put Sword of Fire and Ice on there, we can still get Mishra's Factory crewed up. And actually, now that I think about it, we should have done that during combat, because that gives them the best opportunity to get Sword of Fire and Ice onto something else. So that was... Yeah, we should have waited till combat to do that. I was so worried about messing this, like not seeing something, like, oh, you should have done this, like you should have targeted this creature to do that. So, unfortunately, with combat stuff, just kind of missed it on that. So we'll see. I think we still should be okay. It's still going to give them the opportunity to get down that Sword of Fire and Ice on one of their creatures, though. Okay, then we'll go for Sword of Fire and Ice on Baby Gideon, which is perfectly fine. So let's see how they want to swing in. And oh, excuse me, the Lightning Greaves, yeah, they're going to be able to shift it around. It's going to be a 5/4. So it's basically going to put us on having to deal with that, because it's going to be 5/4 protection from red, and that's going to put us online for Mishra's Factory. Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. I think, I don't know if I messed it up going for Path right then and there. I should have waited until they started to swing in, but I think either way, we're in a tough spot, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, we're basically going to have to go for Mishra's Factory, so we're going to turn that into Assembly Worker. Let's go Mishra's Factory on Baby Gideon, Mind Captain on Tajic, and the Depala on Bastion Protector. Yeah, maybe there's a different way to play that one out, but I think, either way, we're not looking too hot on this one. Let's see what we draw into. The only thing we can really hit right now would be some sort of board wipe, but even then, we're looking at Gideon next turn, and that turns into a 4/4 creature, which is more than enough to do some pretty good damage to us. So let's see what they end up going for. Okay, so we got the Mana Vault trigger that we'll be dealing one. We definitely don't want to pay for that because we need to get something down. And then let's see what we draw into. Draw into Flagstones, which is not going to get it done. That's going to put us down to 3. Good game to our opponent. We can go for Relentless Assault if we wanted to, but that's going to be a good game. Like I mentioned, this, it's just always fun Magic whenever we get to play. But Solo Player 1 will definitely get in on this one. So we're going to go and scoop it up. Yeah, we have to land drop down. There's nothing. Maybe we could have sequenced that turn just a little bit differently. But with Lightning Greaves shifting around, Sword of Fire and Heist, it's kind of hard to just think of every potential line of play that they could go for. Because basically what they could do is, simply just have the 3 creatures down and then make us kind of force us to use our Path to Exile or something like that early on to kind of stop some sort of activation or equipment, and then you slowly get down, stuff like Gideon and throw the Lightning Greaves over there. Boros wins, it always does. Yeah, good game to our opponent, but yeah, unfortunately, opponent's going to get on this one, but it was a good showing from new Tajic, and we always had fun playing Depala. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.